Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Maker. Welcome back to Tales of Maj'Eyal. We are going to dive back into the world of Maj'Eyal and see if we can last a little bit longer than we did last time. I did put out a call to see if anybody wanted to see any specific classes. I did not really get an answer on that, so I will be choosing myself. Let's go ahead and pick new game. We're going to do tome 1.5.5. And yeah, one thing I want to say, the music we were just listening to, I love it so much. That intro music is fantastic. And before I start, I'm again going to put out a call. If you want to see anything specific, you can see what I have currently unlocked here. Couple of mages, a little bit of wilders, afflicted, chronomancer. Feel free to drop it in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I'm very open to trying things out. But for now, we are going to do a Shadowblade, very similar to the rogue that we previously tried, except we have a little bit of magic. I did kind of experiment with them a little bit off screen, so I wouldn't just start the game and get completely overwhelmed by the abilities that we have. Like I took a look at the Chronomancer and I was just like, what the hell? There's so much there. And this is kind of why I decided to do the Shadowblade. We are going to be a human, and I think we're going to do Cormac. So Cormac, they don't get like a special race talent tree like everybody else does. But instead, they get a free category point from the beginning, as well as a class and generic talent point at birth and every 10 levels. So they get a little bit more. They get no bonuses to anything besides that. Also 0% EXP penalty, so they level up a little bit faster than some others. Not as fast as the Yeek, who I think get a 15% bonus. I think it's going to tell me at some point, because they are so weak. Yeah, minus 15% experience penalty, which is a bonus. But we are going to do Cormac. We are going to do Shadowblade. I really like the play style of the rogue. Just kind of getting in, dealing a ton of damage, being able to kind of escape and maneuver around. So we're going to do that. We are going to name you Shrimp Man. I think we're going to go with Shrimp Man here. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So the Shadowblade, they like dexterity, they like magic, and they like cunning. As you can see, we do have this extra category point, and we start with an extra class and an extra generic, which is quite nice. I am going to, of course, start with disengage as last time. Just being able to run away from stuff, super useful, super useful. We've got this category point, which I'm not going to use for anything in this generic tree. I don't really think divination is worth it. It kind of gives you like the ability to see things better, roughly, and I don't really see that being quite worth it for us. We do have another generic point, and I think I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it till we can get our dexterity up high enough for that. So I'm going to say that point. The category point, I'm definitely going to use temporal, because one of the biggest benefits that the Shadowblade has is not necessarily congeal time. This isn't that interesting to me, but time shield. Basically, it absorbs a certain amount of damage, and then once that damage is absorbed, or after 6 turns, it heals you for, I think, 10%? Yes, 10% of the absorbed damage. Also, while you're under the effect, magical, physical, and mental effects have their durations reduced by 42%, which is quite nice. The shield's max absorption will increase with your spell power. We're not going to have particularly high spell power as the game goes on, but it's still very nice to have. When we're fighting those casters, you guys know, if you've seen the last one, the devastating abilities of casters. So I'm absolutely going to unlock this. I don't think I'm going to use my points in it just yet, however. Instead, I am going to use dual weapon mastery. I've kind of figured out that this is really, really good. And I should absolutely be putting points into it. In my first run, I did not, and I think that was a mistake. I'm also going to put a point into stealth, just because having stealth is good. I don't know if I'm going to actually level this up like I had previously. I am going to go all the way down the tree, though I don't, again, I don't know if I'm going to actually level them up. I'm thinking just at least one value point in all of them. I'm probably going to do the same up here, probably putting more than a couple points into them. I'm also going to get Rush, because Rush, I was thinking like, oh, I don't need, I wanted to save my points basically until I can get Heartseeker to be able to jump in. But you can actually use Rush to run away, which makes it really, really good. Being able to escape is so important. And with this, we'll have the ability to use Disengage to run away. We'll be able to rush away, and we'll have Phase Door. This is another benefit of the Shadowblade. We can teleport randomly in a small area with Phase Door, teleport randomly in a large area. We get another shield, which gives it a percent chance, 45% as it is now, that it will return, you like cast it on somebody, and then 45% chance that the damage done to you will be done to them. Pretty useful. And then the last one lets you just go through walls, basically. It just teleports you through walls. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to get that. I'm again going to ignore survival. We are going to definitely put points into combat training, probably boosting up our light armor, dagger mastery, maybe combat accuracy. We will see about that. I'm also, of course, going to put points into technique mobility. All of them. Disengage is nice. Evasion just gives you a chance to evade stuff when you activate it. Tumble, another way to move around and be able to run away, basically. And then train reactions. Whenever you take damage for a large amount, it reduces that damage. It takes a little bit of stamina for it. But you know, these again, this is essentially for those spellcasters, which is super important, and almost always the way in which I die. So that's that. With this again, you know, we're going to go up technique, dual techniques. We're going to possibly go up combat techniques. I don't know. Definitely going to get 1 point at rush, so we can rush. Possibly using it to close range with casters, possibly just saving it always in case we need to run away. I mean, we can close range, stabby, and then disengage and maybe stealth. We will see about that. At some point we'll get Shadow Dance as well, which just lets you just go into stealth at any point, and then you can just do anything while you're stealthed, which is quite nice. Lethality is good. So I did a little bit of reading, and apparently Expose Weakness is just one of the best talents that you can get, so definitely going to be doing that. Blade Fury is pretty good. Giving you an AoE though, it does drain stamina, and Snap is pretty cool as well, letting you just reset the cooldown of combat talents. So we might be going to that. Definitely going to put points into Expose Weakness. Lethality is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to have the availability there. With Shadow Magic, this just gives you a little bit of extra damage. Not super useful. I mean, it's nice. It gives you a little bit of bonus damage, but not super great. Shadow Cunning, also kind of meh. Shadow Feed, I do like. Just giving you some free mana regen is quite nice. And Shadow Step is also pretty good. Deals a bunch of damage. You daze somebody, which basically mesmerizes them if you've ever played EverQuest. Mezzes them. Makes it so they can't do anything, I think. Or makes them very ineffective. I don't actually remember. But it kind of like takes them out. So it can be useful. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way up. Maybe at some point later in the game. Probably going to want Shadow Feed at some point. But our primary targets are going to be Time Shield, Expose Weakness, and I think we're going to also be looking to put a lot of points into the Duelist tree. So with that, you know I want this. So we need a Cunning of 20, and we need Magic of 20 as well for Time Shield. So I'll start working towards that. Just by level 4 we want to have it. And then I'll start working towards this as well. We will be putting points into Dexterity because that allows us to get Light Armor training and Dagger Mastery. But that's going to be a little bit slower. I think getting the Cunning and Magic up to 20 by level 4 is priority. So there you have it. I don't need to unlock this now, but there's no way I'm not spending this this point on Temporal. So I'm pretty happy about that. So let's go ahead and see if we can survive the first area. All right, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. We start with our infusions. So infusions, if you don't know, are just kind of like bonus effects that any class can use, as well as its infusions and runes. Some classes don't allow you to do it, but we have no such restrictions. Some classes don't allow you to use runes, for example. What do we get? We get one that cures yourself of one random physical effect and reduce all damage taken by 14 turns. 14% 4 turns, sorry. Pretty good. Getting rid of a stun if you're stunned is super useful, though it's not very reliable, because if you're burning, you're bleeding, and you're stunned, it's only a 1 in 3 chance that it's going to pick the one you want. So it's kind of meh. Here we got Mana Surge. This is just basically how we will be gaining mana back if we need to when we are in a fight, as well as just giving us passive regen. This gives us passive regen. Very, very useful. The only way we have to heal at this point. Phase Door is the one that just lets us kind of teleport around. I'll show you. Boom. We just teleported a little bit. It's kind of useful to get out of trouble. Kind of useful to get out of trouble. A nice emergency button. This is our Shadow Combat. You know, it takes 20 stamina to sustain, so in order to sustain, I'm just going to auto-use when available. In order to sustain, you see now we're down, we had 100, now we turn it on, now we have 80, so it requires 20 to be on, but absolutely worth it. Giving us a little bit of darkness damage off the bat is pretty nice. Here we have our Dual Strike, which does a little bit of damage. Hits with the offhand. If it does hit, you stun them, and then you hit with your main hand. So it can do kind of like double damage, which is very useful. Stunning is fantastic. Here's our Stealth, so you know, we can pop this, and then we're harder to see. Not impossible to see. We've got Rush for getting in and out of combat, and we have Disengage for getting in and out of combat. So, with that being said, I'm going to just start auto-exploring and see what we can find. And we're just going to go get stuck in, and we can just murder these weak guys. There's a gigantic troll, which is the boss of this area. So we can reach this guy. Boom! That was Rush right there. And we can use it to close distance. We can also, as I said, you know, just kind of use it to run away. So Shrimpman is rushing around. But we're not gonna, you know, gonna kind of save it unless I need to close range with a magic caster, and then have Disengage to be able to pop back. Gonna save it most of the time. So there we go. We tried to stun him, but we failed. But we did do damage. Stun. We did stun him. A lot of trolls in the troll mire here. And just we're going to continue to murder the local fauna. Lots of weak guys. Pretty easy, of course, to start off. As to be expected. Only once we really encounter... we are missing a lot and taking a bit of damage. But there we go. We've killed the wolves. Kill these gnats. Close range with this. Oh, you hit me for 0 nature damage, you sucker. I know there's a troll up here. Let's get in the Font of Life. So this little thing, this gives you a small boost. Heals you for a tiny bout. Gives you extra stamina as well. Useful to stand in, but never something that you can really rely on. Go and kill some worms. Got a stone troll. A little bit tougher than the forest trolls, but still not an issue. Let's change levels. See what kind of loots we got here. So we're not going to be using great swords or maces or mind stars or war axes. We're pretty much, we're going to use daggers. We are a dagger user. We did pick up a hat, a little bit of defense, and then the rest of the stats are effectively useless to us. Psi is a resource that people use if you're psionic, which we are not. So the mind power affects psionics as well, and mental crit chance, the same thing. But it gives us 1 defense, and we look a little bit spiffier. You can see our weapons just oozing that shadow combat. And the rest of this stuff, we don't have shoot. We're just going to let that be turned into nothing. We have a lone alchemist here. Oops. I don't think the alchemist really gives us anything useful, so go ahead, lead on. I am going to talk to him. Hey buddy, that's not how you do that. There was a way to talk to him? No? I've done this before. Oh, I am looking at the wrong person. Give order. Where is the portal? Far away to the east. I'm gonna say, hey man. Nope. Hey man. Why don't you wait here? Also, we did level up apparently. No, we did not. That's just that extra point we've got lying around. Let's go and try and clear this stuff out so he doesn't get jacked. Okay. Oh crap, where'd he go? He made it on his own, apparently. Well, okay. So when you turn these guys in, you get a variety of choices of what you can take, depending on what their class is. So he can give us +1 dexterity. It's kind of crap. +2 magic is okay. Staff mastery and channel staff, both useful. We're not going to be using staffs. Useful? Did I say useful? I meant useless. Stone touch. We can turn foe to stone. That's not the worst. Costs 50 mana, which is a lot. And I don't think it's worth us. We can also learn the talent category of stone alchemy, as well as staff combat. I don't know what stone alchemy does, but presumably stone touch is part of it. I think I'm just going to go for the magic. Save us some points to get up to 20. Go kill whatever that was, some poison ivy. Alright, we've got another troll here. Very hard to stun these guys. Oh, and there's our level up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We are level 2. So, I mean, getting dexterity up would allow us to put more points into this. And in fact, I think I want to put 1 point in there so I can get dual weapon mastery up another one. We will need our cunning at 20 at level 4, so we'll put the next 2 points in there. We should be able to get both of these up in the next 2 levels. Yeah, we might be 1 point short. Got a lot of generic points now. We'll put 1 there, and we're going to continue to save the next one until we can unlock maybe teleport or evasion, or ideally dexterity armor training. And dagger mastery. That's far away. We spent the points we wanted to, though. I do like getting another point into this, just because it lets you jump further and makes you faster after you jump. Quite useful, I believe. Let's go kill these guys. Whoops. Something has happened. What was that sound? Oh, you've used stone skin, crystal rat. Alright, there's a bunch of enemies here, but they're all weak. Except for you. You're not that weak. Taking a little bit of damage. I think I'm going to use my regen now before I get mobbed by trolls. And then we should just be able to crush you out. Yes, we did. Alright, taking them on one at a time is very important when you're fighting tougher enemies. Less of an issue now. We missed him. White iron mail. I don't think we can wear that. Come on to me, friends. These worm masses. Always reminds me... Let's just rush you down. Those worm masses remind me of Alpha Centauri, the mind worms. They are much less terrifying than psionic, terrorizing boils of semi-sentient worms. These guys are just kind of... They're pretty pathetic. But Alpha Centauri, I actually have a Let's Play of that. If you're into that game, it's awesome. Awesome 4X game with a little bit of story and great writing. I freaking love it. Probably going to do another one at some point as well. So, okay, we got a belt with some resistances. No reason to not wear it. As well as a cloak. Plus life, plus cunning and dex is also really nice. And a minor amount of defense. Getting plus life is really, really good. The other way to raise life is by putting points in a constitution. But it does not give a lot of points. So it's really not worth putting points in the constitution unless... you have talents that require it, which we are not going to need. Everything else is garbage to me. So let's go ahead and end the turn. Now there's going to be a boss in this zone. A big old scary troll. I have died to him before. So not something to take super lightly when we do encounter him. Let these guys come and then we can go and take care of this poison ivy. Who has poisoned me? Okay, so, right. Here's the boss. We don't have that many tools against him. But I want to be in a good position that I can disengage if I want. So we'll try and stun him. Okay, that. We'll back up, I guess. Stun you again. We just flat out missed. I will use my healing. Kill the rabbit. Start taking him down. We're taking a little bit of damage, so I am actually going to disengage. Buy some time. Now we can heal. Got a number of enemies coming. So he's back. Keep an eye on our health. I will use my healing again. Kill him? Oh, crap. Disengage once again, please. We are very speedy at the moment. Try and just back off. Get our healing on. Try and take him out. He's got 1 hit point left. There it is. Kill these weak guys as well. Oh, you're not so weak apparently. I will heal and then kill you. Ow, what is hurt me so bad? Oh, White Wolf apparently does cold damage. Apparently it hurts a lot. Then we got some loot. Summertide File, River's Fury, an ornate trident, and our Rod of Recall. Let's go ahead and kill this snake. And then take a look at the fat loots we got. Summertide File. So this replaces, this goes into the lantern slot. I think you always get this here. Gives you some good light, makes you do some light damage and resist light, as well as heal 10% better. So there's no reason ever to not wear that, basically. And now you can see River's Fury uses exotic weapons mastery. It's quite interesting. Lots of stats, but we don't even have the strength to use it. It's pretty dang cool. 20% chance to cast Glacial Vapor. Does a little bit of damage and knocks stuff back. But we can't use it, so no matter. Copper Ring of Nature is here. A little bit of nature resist and a little bit of nature damage. We'll wear it. Everything else is not going to be used by us. I don't think we can use anything. We can use these quivers. But I don't... I mean... We can put it on. New shimmer option? How do you look at the log? I don't know. I don't think this actually does anything for us. Because we don't have a bow. But whatever, I'll put it on. It's a healing infusion, which we have our max out infusions right now, so we're not going to worry about that. We can only use 3 unless you put points into things. I do like putting points into things. Yeah, those guys hit surprisingly hard. We can now just heal up. Come on, bring it on, buddy. Little mousey there. Did I level up? I did. Wow, 9 stat points because we are level 4. Okay, I didn't realize we would get that many. Jesus, did I level up twice? I feel like I did. We'll get you to 16, you to 20, you to 20. Put a couple more points into there as well. So I definitely want light armor training, right? Super good. Can't get evasion yet. I mean, it just gives you 18 defense right off the bat, 7% armor hardiness, reduces fatigue, and when we step next to somebody, we get even more defense. So defense is avoidance, essentially. Armor hardiness is a bit complicated, and I guess I'll explain it now. So we can look here. Right, we have 2 armor and 37% armor hardiness. So the way that this works is that if somebody hits me for 100, the maximum that we could ever prevent is the armor hardiness percentage. So if he hits me for 100, the most I could block with armor is 37%. I have 2 armor, so that's not going to happen. But if I had, say, 37 armor, they hit me for 100 with armor hardiness 37%, I will block 37 damage. If I have 1,000 armor and only armor hardiness of 37% and they hit me for 100, I will also only block 37. So this is a very, very important stat when you have armor, which we don't have, so it's not super important for us. Took me a little bit of time to understand that on my bulwark, who very much cares about armor. So let's see, we got generic points. I am definitely going to put a point into teleportation there. And we need dexterity to 20 for evasion. Probably going to save again this point for when our dexterity gets to 20. We might want to put another point into light armor training. Definitely going to want a point, but that's for 27 points in dexterity. I mean, jumping back another distance, I don't know if it's super good. I will, I think, save my point. However, for the class points, we will definitely put another one into that. I would like tempo. Tempo, basically, whenever you, if I dodge or parry, I gain stamina and a little bit of a turn. And whenever I critical strike with my offhand, we also gain stamina. Getting stamina is quite nice. Quite nice indeed to use. And another point, definitely into exposed weakness. It's so good. Basically, when you attack somebody, you attack twice. If you miss, it assumes that they have high dodge. And so we then gain a bonus to our accuracy. If we hit, it assumes that they're not so dodgy and that they're stronger on the armor. Right? Let me make sure I have this right. Your attacks against that target? Yeah. So if we miss, we gain accuracy. If we hit, we gain extra damage and weapon resistance penetration. As well as just giving flat armor penetration. Very, 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 very good attack. It can give you so much bonus damage. So we're definitely going to be putting points into that and like maxing that out as soon as possible. We are going to... No, not Phantasm. We are going to get our Time Shield as well. So this, don't really care about. Maybe it's kind of useful against mages, I suppose. Slowing down their projectiles can be useful when you're approaching. But Time Shield, I already described what it does. It is super, super good. We're definitely going to be putting points into that. And that is everything. So let's go ahead. Accept these changes. And we're going to finish this out. I'm going to actually reshuffle some things about. We're going to move you to there. Stealth can be there. Probably going to always... I always end up reshuffling stuff a lot. Expose weakness. Beautiful. Let's clear this out, and then I'm going to end the episode as it's gone on actually a little bit longer than I intended. I didn't realize that I would be yammering about so much about different armor hardiness. I blame armor hardiness wholly and completely. Hidden treasure to the east. We will be going there. I have somewhat learned my lesson, maybe, about the dangers of opening up these secret areas, because that's how I die a lot, and I don't like doing that. So that's it for this episode. Shrimpman has started his ascension to power. Next turn we're going to take a look at the loot that we picked up here, as well as then going in and taking on a scary boss troll. Hopefully we can fight him. We have enough ways to run away that if I need to, I hope that I'll survive. But we'll have to wait and see. For now, my name is Man the Maker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.